We must promise our children that we will do whatever it takes to prevent Washington elitists with an insatiable appetite for more of our money, to keep them from piling more debt onto the backs of future generations. In closing, I will ask the question that many generations have had to answer. That question is, if not us, who? If we don't do it, guys, who will? The politicians cannot quit spending. It's just what they do. Trust me, I'm around them all the time. And if you think that they're not an elitist, arrogant bunch, you are badly mistaken. When they walk into the room, they want everyone to know that they are there. And if they're at a dinner and they don't get announced, they get their feelings hurt. And somebody runs, they storm the stage and say, so-and-so just walked in, be sure and tell everyone that they're here. Oh yes, they're quite an elitist bunch. We need to put them back in their place, and that's back in their homes. Some of them need to be put back. And also, the next question is, if not now, when? People, we can't afford to wait. I've been fighting this battle, and you take the slings and the arrows, and that's okay. I'm a big girl. I put my big girl panties on before I got up here, so I can take it. And so I can take it, been taking it for a while. But I'm telling you, you're not going to be popular if you stand up against a bunch of politicians, because they own a lot of the media, and they will do whatever they can to stay in power. They're ruthless. And so, thank you. So I ask you, if it's not now, when will it be? I say it's now. And I say the time has passed. And actually, we're playing catch up. We should have started this a long time ago, but I'm glad we're at least starting it now. Let's get busy.
I just want to say a few things for just a second before I do my part on the program. There was about 15 or 20 of us that got together several times, and a lot of us were a little worried about, were you going to show up? Was anything going to happen? I want the world to know that Chattanooga showed up. We're going to show up and show them that we mean business, aren't we? Yeah! Amen! Okay, I got a couple of other things I want to say. Freedom isn't free. Thank you so much. Some of you have come over to my table and handed me 10s and 20s and 5s, and you didn't ask me what I was going to do with it, but I want to tell you what I'm going to do with it. We're going to have more of these things, and I want double here the next time. Do you think Chattanooga do that? Amen. We can do it. Absolutely. Okay, now for my part on the program. You know what? Brian got up here earlier, and he read the preamble of the Constitution. Well, my part is to read to you, if I can breathe after all of that, the 9th and the 10th amendments. And then we want to talk just a little bit about them. And if you don't have a copy of it, you need to get a copy of these, and we need to start teaching our kids what we believe in. We've let everybody tell us what we believe in, but we don't believe in some of the things they're telling us. Okay, the Amendment 9, Construction of Constitution. It was ratified on 12/15/1791. The enumeration, or that means list, in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others. Others what? Rights retained by the people. Say it. People! Chief Justice Earl Warren and Justice William Brennan expressed this view in Griswold versus Connecticut in 1965. The Ninth Amendment, in indicating that not all such liberties are specifically mentioned in the first 8 amendments, is surely relevant in showing the existence of other fundamental personal rights, now protected from state as well as federal infringement. Do you feel that they have infringed upon our rights? Yes! Okay, the 10th Amendment. Powers of the states and people. It was ratified on 12/15/1791. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. Now here's what that means. Nothing not expressly granted to the federal government is reserved for the states or the people. Although this amendment is very liberally interpreted, it is one of the tenets of the Constitution. This amendment is also known as the States' Rights Amendment. What's it called? The States' Rights Amendment. And if it hasn't been given to them expressly, what does it mean? You and I get those rights, okay? The states and us. I want you to know that we are so thrilled that you have come today. We absolutely are thrilled. And somebody said 500. I'd say there was probably at least 2,000 out here today. Give yourselves a big hand of applause and come back again next time. Thanks.
Do you think she had some caffeine today? Wow. I know who needs to be leading us next time. Good job, Patsy. Okay, by the way, I see a sign over there that I just have to say, I love it. It says, if you're not outraged, you're not paying taxes. You know what? I guess the folks that are not here today are not paying taxes. What do you say? Because I know you are. Well, listen, I want to just take 20 seconds to introduce our next speaker. He's a former U.S. Secret Service agent, so you better behave. He's a former Cleveland City Councilman, and he's the current Bradley County Sheriff. Please help me welcome Sheriff Tim Gobble.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you today. You know, Albert Einstein said that one of the hardest things in the world to understand was the income tax. And that was when the income tax code consisted of only 504 pages. So today it doesn't take an Einstein to understand that the tax code consisting of over 70,000 pages is too large, too cumbersome, too burdensome, and too oppressive to be in the best interest of the average, everyday, hardworking American taxpayer. In addition to the tax burden we are facing as a nation, we are facing record levels of government spending, and our national debt is quickly spiraling out of control. As you know, our yearly federal budget has now approached $4 trillion. Our national debt is $11 trillion and climbing. These numbers are so large it's hard to even comprehend. To put some sort of context to it, that is a number with 12 zeros attached. And it's interesting to note that 1 trillion seconds equals 32,000 years. Which means if we begin right now paying off the $11 trillion national debt with no interest being charged at all at a rate of $1 per second, it will take us 352,000 years just to zero it out. This is insane. And with recent government bailouts and wild pork barrel stimulus spending with no end in sight, our nation is bankrupt. We are in serious danger of losing the free enterprise system, the free market economy, with reasonably low taxes and a limited government that has served to promote freedom, prosperity, individual liberties, and opportunity for all Americans. and having it replaced with a socialist style